Hey guys, it's me again. Hey, I wanted to come on and just say a few things about what I saw on that debate stage. Again, I went into this thing with an open mind. I thought, okay, maybe, I haven't heard a whole lot of Kamala Harris. If she comes out here and proves to me, or makes me feel that she's got the country's best interest at heart. But from the very beginning, from the gate, I could just see the fakeness on her and her act that she puts on to try to make it seem like she's a leader and a politician and a president, that she's presidential. And the whole entire thing was a complete and utter setup. I would go as far to say that they rehearsed the whole thing with Kamala Harris. I mean, it was obvious and plain as day. He was fact checked 15 times by ABC. ABC is one of the most leftist, Trump hating organizations, media outlets that are out there. And the minute I heard that he was doing it on ABC, I was leery of it. But again, one thing with Donald Trump is he will go anywhere, anytime, any place, and you gotta love that and respect that. I mean, he goes into the most uncomfortable conditions, and he says the same stuff, and he sticks by his guns, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he is an open book. He tells you exactly what he wants to do and exactly how he's going to do it. And they say, oh, he didn't lay out his agenda, but he did for the most part. But a lot of it was him defending himself, because that's what that was. It was an attack. And, Donald Trump is Donald Trump. And I wish there were, I wish that he didn't quite, I wish he didn't say some of the things he said. I wish he didn't go as far as he went with a lot of the things. But at the same time, that whole thing was a setup. And it totally proves once again what is wrong with that side of politics, with that group of politicians, the left. They will go to any extreme. They will do anything to get into power. They will lie to you. They will cheat. They will, you've got a politician pulling a fire alarm to stop a vote in the Congress halls. You've got, just everything they do, politicizing, weaponizing the justice system. That it really hit me when she turned around and started calling him a convict, and you're a convicted this. That's all a big setup, man. And for her to turn around and say that and be comfortable saying that you're a convicted felon, knowing that that's all a setup, and that whole thing was created just for that moment to turn and point your finger at him and say you're a felon. And Donald Trump was right. The exact same, really think about that. The exact same thing happened to Joe Biden with the documents in his garage. And he was deemed too old or too senile to stand trial. But Donald Trump, that was supposed to be the biggest one that was going to send him to prison. That's crazy. That shows exactly right there. That is black and white. They get away with murder. He gets punished for nothing. And they create these things. And 94 indictments, and like I said, the entire world knows that this has been a politicized thing. And they get away with it. No, there's no consequences. What he said in that debate was 100% right. Nobody gets fired on the left. Nobody pays for their bad mistakes. The dossier stuff, Russia. Nobody went to jail for that. They ruined people's lives over that. And they will ruin anybody's life. It doesn't matter who you are. If you go against them, you are the enemy, period. And we will destroy you. And that's sad, and that's terrible, and that's what we're going to get. If she gets into power, and she is the president of the United States, there's going to be more of the, if you go against us, we will crucify you. And that is not the way this should be. They are not the leaders of this country. We are the leaders of this country. We are the voices. We are the ones that should be, with the abortion thing. What Donald Trump did was what he thought was right, and it was what people thought, it was what people wanted. He gave the voice back to the states. So now the states vote on whether you should have abortion rights or not. That's the way it should be. The people should be able to vote on whether they want to or not. And it shouldn't be run yes or no by a politician. It should be the people. We should be the ones for everything. That's the way Congress was set up. That was the whole purpose of the Constitution. And it was set up exactly the opposite for what's happening now. What's happening now is politics are being run and overpowered, and literally it's like a dictatorship. These people do what they want, say what they want, get away with what they want. I mean, you know, I would go as far to say that the assassination attempt on Trump, I think they were behind that. You know, and if not, it's 100% from all the rhetoric and the things that they say about him. I mean, for somebody to run for president in this country and get a shot taken at them because their political opponent is beating them into the ground and saying they're a threat to democracy and they're going to ruin the world and he's a dictator and he's a KKK member and he's this and he's that. What do you think's going to happen? You know, they can't keep it clean. They don't know how to keep it clean. It's as dirty as it gets and it's as low as it'll go, and there's nothing that they will stop at. And it's brutal, and there's something has got to be done about it. If it continues to happen this way, I'm telling you, 5 to 10 years, we will look like a third world country, and this will be a dictatorship. Kamala Harris cannot be the president. If you cannot vote for somebody because they're a black female. You cannot vote for somebody because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do. You vote for somebody because that's what's right for the country. You vote for somebody because they're the ones that are going to make our lives better, that are what's best for America. That's what's best for our children, what's best for me and you, what's best for our jobs, what's best for our money, what's best for our investments, what's going to give us America back, that we can actually achieve an American dream. I mean, that's what we need to vote on, and that's what we need to stick by. That woman, I just look at her and I can just feel the sliminess. And I can feel, she flip-flops on every single thing she says. She will say whatever it is that she thinks you want to hear. And if you don't see that, then you're ignorant. You're ignorant and you should not be voting. I mean, think about it. She wants to give loans to immigrants to buy houses. If you've watched my other videos, I cannot buy a house. I'm a hard worker. I'm an American patriot. I love this country. I work hard. I do everything I can. I try to do everything right. I raise my children. They're all in sports. I have good kids. And I just want to buy a house. That's all I want. I want a house. I want to leave my children something when I leave this place. I want to be able to give them a future. If I was to die today, the first thing in my mind would be, what are they going to do? And, if I knew they had a house and they were set up and they had a good life and they had some, I have my retirement account and they have some money in the bank, I would die a much better death. I would be like, okay, they're going to be okay. But I can't afford to buy a house. I've been trying for 2 years. I can go take out $1 million loan right now. Right now, I'm approved for it. But I cannot afford the monthly payments. On an $800,000 house, which is a piece of crap in this country, you're paying $8,000 a month. That's insane. And she says she's going to get the housing down. She's not going to get the housing down. She doesn't even know how to get the housing down. You know what? On one of these videos, I'm going to find that interview that she did, and I want you guys to watch it, where they ask her about inflation, and I have never seen a more immature, ignorant answer in my life. She doesn't even know what inflation was. You can just see it all over her face. She was so flustered and confused, didn't know what to say. Inflation is when you have to pay more for things, and it's just really expensive, and it was ridiculous, and everybody should see that. But that is her, and when she gets caught off guard and she's interviewed and they ask her questions that are not scripted, she doesn't know how to answer it. She doesn't know. She is not a politician, guys. She hasn't really done anything. They talk about these bounce back jobs. We created the most jobs. They don't call it the bounce back jobs, but they say that they created the most jobs ever. Those were all COVID comebacks. They got into power right when COVID ended. Everybody was working from home. They came back and they're counting those as jobs created. Those are not jobs created. Those are people going back to work. And that's shady to say that. That's deceiving. That's not right. You didn't create the most jobs. Don't say that. Don't say things that are not true. Don't try to sit there and lie to our faces and think that we're idiots and that we're going to believe what comes out of your mouth no matter what. It pisses me off, man. These people, they talk like this and they just expect you to just follow in suit. And you're just, if they say it, that's how it is. It's unbelievable, and it's got to stop, guys. It's got me just hot, and I really pray and hope that she does not win this election, and that there's enough people out there with enough sense and enough dignity and enough want to get this country back to vote for Donald Trump. I mean, the guy, like I said, he knows business. You do have to have some force here. You do have to have strength through fear. You have to. I mean, people need to know we are America. We are, I mean, if you don't, they're going to take advantage of you. It's just like your kids. They're going to push you and push you and push you and push you until you put your foot down and say enough. I mean, anybody who's a parent knows that's how that works. That's just basic math when it comes to parenting. Same thing with this country. These other countries are going to push even harder. I mean, these other countries, they got leaders that are, you know, they're brutal. They will take as much as they can get. China, Russia, they're going to push and push and push. And if we don't stop them and push back, they're going to keep pushing. And they're going to get to a point where they're going to say, you know what, let's just push all the way. And that's when a war is going to start. And I believe that if she gets into power, we will see a war. If not a war, we will see a horrible catastrophe. Because, I mean, if I'm Putin, if I'm somebody else, I see a weak country. I see the greatest nation in the world weakened at the knees. And if you're ever going to take a shot, you do it now. And we can't allow that to happen. We cannot allow that to happen. We got to stop all this stuff, man. We got to turn things around. We need to get America back. We need to get our voice back. We need to get ourselves back. We need to get this country great again. We need to make it affordable to live here. We need to be able to, for a good family person and a good family to be able to buy a home and have a retirement and have a good life and give us something to work for. Give us something to look forward to. Give us a future. You know, if I can't get a future here, if I can't buy a home, what are my kids going to do? They're not going to be able to buy a home. I worry every day about that. By the time they're my age, what is this country going to look like? You know, what are we leaving them? All of you guys that are watching this that have children, that should be your number one concern. What are your children going to, what are we leaving our children? What are we leaving them? What are they going to do when we're not around and we can't do anything anymore? You know, and I'm sorry doesn't cut it. You can't just make the wrong decisions and then go, oh, well, we made because these are life-changing decisions. These are country-changing decisions. These are decisions that we won't be able to be coming back from. And we got to stop it. It's crazy, you know, and I get tired of these, you know, Taylor Swift going on and giving her political view and all these people that follow her. And I mean, there's people out there that are really going to go, you know what, Taylor Swift likes her, so I better vote for her too. We're robots. People need to have their own mind. You need to vote for yourself and what's best for you. I mean, we've had both eras. We've had a Donald Trump era and we've had a Kamala Harris era. When was your life better? And don't say it was with Kamala Harris, because it's not. It's not, period. And if you say it is, you're a liar. And you know it. Donald Trump had this economy running strong. Donald Trump had things, and the only reason they don't want him in there is because he's not a politician, and he's not inside their pockets, and he's not going to look out for them. He's going to try to do what's best for us, and that's not what they want. They don't want what's best for us. They want what's best for them. They want what's going to put money in their pocket. They want whoever's going to give them power. You know, anybody that goes against them. The Supreme Court, if they make a judgment towards a more of a Republican judgment, they're crooked. And I'm just really fed up with all of it. So anyways, I just wanted to make a quick video and say this real quick. That debate just made me sick. It was a total setup, and everybody had to have seen it. You all saw it. It was a total setup. They were out to crucify Donald Trump. They were out to piss him off, push his buttons, and they did it. ABC fact-checking him right there on the spot, never fact-checking Kamala Harris, you know, and the things they were saying were just literally guided missiles to just hit him in the red button and just try to make him flip out. And he did all right with it. He got a little flustered, but he did all right with it, man. And like I said, you got to give the guy credit, man. He goes out there, and he goes out there for you. He goes out there for me. He goes out there for the people that want this to be a better country. That's why he goes out there, and there's nothing that he won't do. He won't tell them no. ABC and Kamala Harris, let's go. I'll go do it for the people. I mean, this man has taken a bullet for us. This man has 94 indictments for us. This man has had his entire life flipped upside down. He's had his businesses tried to be raped from him. He's just been completely crucified, and he still fights. That's a fighter. That's what we need. We need a fighter. We need somebody who's going to fight no matter what for us, for me and for you and for what's best for this country. And if you don't see that, then you're ignorant and this country's doomed. Please, guys, watch, and you know what, I'm just saying this again. I'm trying not to be right or left, but there's a man that I think everybody should watch. And the reason I say that is because this man, he digs into situations, and then he pulls up the facts and he does the research and he proves to you what he's talking about. He's one of the most amazing people I've ever seen, and it's Mark Levin. And if you haven't watched him, just watch him, and watch him with an open mind and listen to what he has to say. You can't argue with him because, like I said, anything he says, he proves, and he puts facts on it, and he does the research on it, and he shows you books that are written on it. I mean, everything he does, and he puts everything together and makes you see clearly. Watch him. They call him the Great One, and I truly believe he is the Great One. Like I said, I mean, if there was a Democrat to come out and actually, say the right things, and if I could feel them and I felt their words and they were coming from the heart and they actually I felt they had the best interest of the people in here, I would vote for them in a heartbeat. That's not what I'm about. I wouldn't vote. I'm not that way. I'm not going to vote just because I'm Republican or Democrat, Republican or Democrat. I'm going to vote for what's best for this country, period. That's what we all need to do. It's what you all need to wake up and do. I'm tired of paying for your guys' mistakes, for other people's mistakes. I'm tired of it. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just really frustrated. And I want you guys to try to think with an open mind. And I just don't understand the logic or how you can think that way or how you could vote for somebody who has destroyed this country for 4 years and it's obvious and clear as day. How could anybody ever vote for that? How could anybody say more of that, please? More inflation, please. More high gas prices, please. I want more of that. More immigration. It's crazy. We got to get this country under control. This is very real. This is so real. And we're at a critical time in our lives where this is history. This is literally history. This election could literally change America forever. This could change America forever and ever. Period. You gotta vote for what's right and what we need and what's right in this country. And right now, and even if you say it, that Kamala Harris is it, you're wrong. Donald Trump is what's best for this country right now. With the two options that we have, he is the one that is going to pull us back together and get us where we need to be. He's only got 4 more years. He doesn't even have 8. They had their shot. Biden and Harris had their shot, and they just squandered it. And I mean, again, you have to look at things with an open mind. And I shouldn't even have to say this, but for example, where they let people over the border for 3 years, 6 months before the election, they decided to try to pass a bill. Look at the big picture. Let's just let them pour in here. Those are all votes for us. And then 6 months before, we can try to pass a bill and go, oh, look, no, they didn't let us do it. We tried to do something. It's just, I can go on forever. There's so many plain as day, obvious, weasel, slimy little deals that these people have done. And they just, like I said, they are all about themselves. Guys, please show this to your friends. We got to do what's right for this country. We got to come together. It's me and you and us. Not them. They shouldn't even really have a say in this. They shouldn't even have anything to do with this. It should be us that have something to say about this. That's how it was set up. That's how it should be. And we should be the ones that have the last word. And let's get that back. Let's vote. Let's just blow this out of the water. Let's try to get the country back. And then on the next election, let's do it again. And let's get together. I listened to Patrick Mahomes the other day. They were asking him about politics. I'm a Chiefs fan. Diehard Chiefs fan. But they were asking Patrick Mahomes, and I was worried. I was like, please don't go into politics. And he didn't. And you know what he said? I'm not going to have the words perfect, but basically the point of what he said is, you know, I belong to a team. I belong to an organization where we come together as one, and we make ourselves a group, and we work together. We work as teammates, and we conquer. And that's the attitude we should have in America. That's what we should have. We should come together and conquer. Come together and take this back. It's our voices that matter. It's our voices, and we got to get that back, because it's not going to, if it just keeps slipping and slipping and slipping, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. It's not going to get better. The more you let them push, the more they're going to take. And I'm sick of them taking. I'm sick of them taking. Enough. Anyways, I'll come back on in a couple days and say some more, but hopefully I got through you guys a little bit, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back. Thank you.